Hi, my name is Shirayuki. I've been playing TFT since set 4, I believe, but I mostly started getting more into it during like set 5, set 5.5.
What
Yeah.
got you into playing TFT competitively, joining tournaments, things like that?
Well, at first I played TFT with a duo partner. When we would usually just like play normals, we would just play in an 8-player lobby and I would play against them. When we started getting into the more competitive scene, I think last year, because I saw a lot of like people playing TFT tournaments. I used to watch a lot of TFT Worlds, and in general, I just thought, hey, it would be fun if there were like tournaments, but for less good players like me.
Well, I can tell you one thing: whether you know it or not, you are my nemesis. Part of the reason I decided to interview you is you've some of these like weekly tournaments and smaller things. I think you've knocked me out of like two or three, uh,
Oof.
and I keep like this. So you have at
I mean, the
least
joke
that.
with the weeklies I have is, oh, my first game, I'm straight up going 8th because the first game I play, and usually I'm just like, what's the worst that could happen if I played something like Tarek Carry in set 10?
What are your goals for this tournament? What are you sort of like reaching for? Is this just for fun, or do you really want to like make that third day and have a shot at getting that automatic buy?
I mean, I'm definitely going to play for that third day because I think that in more recently, like in the recent few months, after playing a lot more tournaments, after participating in like ages stuff, boys' stuff, I do find the competitive aspect really, really fun for me. Like, I enjoy pushing myself almost to limits against people who I know are much better than me. And I just hope that I can find more obscure lines or lines that people usually don't play, or just I just play a better game, or maybe I could just learn from the better players, like how they play their game differently from how I do it. Before I even played TFT seriously, I think I've just consistently hit masters in set 4 all the way till I think set 8, I want to say. And then after I joined Aegis and Boys as a server, I even played some counters tournaments as well in the EU. After playing more tournaments, I started like seeing the importance of stuff like scouting other people, knowing when to contest and when to pivot out of stuff, how you pivot out of a certain line so that you save placements. And more so, it's just that since you're playing multiple games in a row, it helps with your mental when you're preparing for next game. Like, you don't want one bad loss to keep you down for the rest of the games.
Speaking of, is there anything that you're doing to prepare for this tournament?
Okay, so I know Froden and Dish Soap have their TFT Academy. I've been studying that a lot. I also do use tactic dot tools a lot as well, just to like look at stats and stuff, what people tend to build, and what usually is the better items for certain carries. Like, I just take those stats, but I don't solely rely on them. I just look at what they show that the champion needs to be able to carry the fight or to be able to soak up all the damage. And in general, I think that for the most part, a lot of the comps surprisingly have been exposed this early on already. I'm more so thinking of like what comps or what underrated carries that people usually don't play, and I can make it work somehow.
I'll be rooting for you, my friendly rival. Do you have any last like anything you want to say or shout outs or anything like that before we go?
Most of all, just thank you for seeing me as a rival, I guess. Because I always just felt like I just play the game. I don't really do much when I'm just playing it. I didn't think that people would see me as a threat or anything. I don't want to say like the pro players are pros for a reason and we're here for another reason, but they've just spent a lot more time doing their thing, while a lot of other people like us, we have other things which we spend more time on than TFT. Now, if someone like me can make it to day 3 and maybe make it to regionals, it just goes to show that a lot of people can still go head to head with the pros if I manage to do it too.